the CEO's wife stepped into her daughter's room for the very first time. But when she opened the closet, she froze in shock. Despite sending 80,000 yuan home every month to improve her daughter's life, the closet was completely empty. Not a single change of clothes. The only pair of shoes her daughter owned were torn and broken. At first, she thought her mother-in-law was simply too frugal, unwilling to spend money. But then she noticed something odd. Her nephew always had plenty to eat, enjoying big chicken drumsticks and endless snacks. Her heart sank even further when she discovered her daughter's diary. Page after page revealed years of abuse and mistreatment. Only then did she realize her precious child had been living a life of misery, worse than animals. The truth cut into her heart like a knife, and she could no longer hold back her tears. Years earlier, she and her husband had left for the city to build a better future. With no choice, they entrusted their young daughter to her grandmother's care. As their business grew, they faithfully sent 80,000 yuan each month, believing their daughter would never lack food or clothing. But the grandmother, who favored boys over girls, spent every cent on her grandson. For the little girl, even a proper meal became a luxury. Constant hunger wore her down. One day, she could bear it no longer and secretly called her parents, crying and begging her mother to come back and take her away. But her parents, busy preparing their company to go public, failed to notice how much she was suffering. They thought she simply missed them. Her mother gently comforted her, saying she would return home once the work was done. She hung up the call, never realizing it would become the regret of a lifetime. Unfortunately, the grandmother had overheard the phone call. Furious, she beat the girl and locked her outside in the rain for an entire day and night. The child's weak body gave in, and she collapsed with a high fever. When her uncle touched her burning forehead, he knew something was terribly wrong and wanted to take her to the hospital. But the cruel grandmother refused. To her, the girl was nothing but a burden. Coldly, she said, "Let her sleep, it'll be fine tomorrow." That same night, the father called home, worried because he hadn't heard from his daughter. He asked his younger brother if something had happened. The uncle hesitated, torn about whether to tell the truth. Before he could speak, the grandmother snatched the phone and lied, saying the girl only caught a little cold from playing outside. Trusting her, the father set his worries aside. But the mother grew uneasy. Hearing her daughter was sick, she quickly transferred 20,000 yuan to her mother-in-law for medical expenses. The greedy grandmother happily accepted the money, pretending she would take the girl to see a doctor. In reality, she left her to suffer and instead planned to use the money to throw her grandson a grand birthday party. She even forced her weak granddaughter to wake up early the next morning to do chores. Threatening her, she said that if she ruined her younger brother's birthday, she would be thrown out of the house. In the end, the poor girl never lived to see her parents return. Alone, in the middle of the night, with no one by her side, she quietly passed away.